Okay, so call me crazy, but I think FedEx is like completely gone down the drain. All the last packages I have ever got ordered recently have like been delayed by like several days, but this is finally here. Okay, so Eibach lowering bolts. My knowledge is that these are good for the C6s and the C7 platforms. The Corvette, apparently a multitude of cars kind of work with these lowering bolts, but it's my first. I'm used to a coilover type of deal. I mean, you can get coilovers for this car, but you can also just get away with lowering bolts. So I'm about to put y'all down for a second. All right, yeah, but like I said, this should do it. Don't do this at home, kids. All right. Oh boy, I got these on a good deal. Didn't even realize they had a deal going on until after I jumped on the website and said, "Oh, that's why I couldn't cut through." We got like these staples in it. These are usually go for about 150. I think I see some as high as like 200, depending on where you get them from. I got these for 135. I think it was like a 10% sale going on or something like that. So, like I said, got those for a great price. It's actually my first Eibach product. So this is gonna be different. The box alone. All right. Whoa, kind of bigger than I thought, if that makes sense. Nice. No, that could focus. Okay, whatever. I think it's because of the plastic bag, it's kind of a hard time to focus, but if you're totally clueless as to far as like what these are and what context, or like what are these? These are lowering bolts, and apparently on some cars you don't have to change out your full. See, look at them. Look at them. Blue, leave it. You don't have to change out your full suspension setup to lower the car. At least as far as the Corvette goes, you can install these lowering bolts, and these bring down the ride height of your car. But on the stock setup, you can run them down with your stock bolts, but at some point you kind of meet the restriction of how low you can go, and these just take it a step further by keeping it, like, you know, obviously professional. So let me go show you what I'm talking about. Come on, man. So as of now, I'm not completely bottomed out on my stock lowering bolts, but it's like so much of a small distance. Why aren't you focusing? Anyways, it's so much of a small distance left to lower these that it doesn't make sense for me to go all the way to drop it on that small amount, which is why I went full send with the lowering bolts, because that small gap would probably only clear me. It's really dark over there. A small gap would probably only clear me like less than like my finger width. So with these, we should be able to get rid of this entire wheel gap altogether, and that fitment should be looking mwah. Hopefully it still handles pretty well for the track, but we'll see. Again, those are still for sale. They should be out of my hands come this weekend though. So with all that being said, let's get on the road. Got about an hour drive. It's pretty much an hour drive to anywhere around here that does car stuff. And I'll get back to y'all when we are back and see the difference, the before and after. Hope we feel a difference too, because like I said, it's different than a full-on coilover setup, since I'm not replacing any struts or any actual mechanics other than the looks of it, but you're still physically lowering the car, so it should still feel a little different, but we'll see. I'll keep y'all updated. Guys, it's absolutely crazy how many compliments this car gets for being a completely stock vehicle compared to the Eclipse. I mean, I know that's to be said and to be known because it's a very aggressive looking car, but man, I had to put so much work into the Eclipse for it to get to the point of where people can even acknowledge it. And this car just breathes and everyone's like, "Ooh!" $4 for premium. I'm gonna say 62 bucks to fill it up. $68. Oh my God. That's, oh God. Dang, that's different. Okay, let's just go. Let's just leave. Oh God. Oh boy.
2,000 years later.
So I'm back at the house now. Car had to get left at the shop. Turns out there was a lot more to it than what was led to believe at first as far as lowering it. So with your stock lowering bolts, you can run those down and that will drop the overall ride height of your car. But since my stock lowering bolts are pretty much at the bottom end, and it doesn't really matter since we're putting in aftermarket lowering bolts that eliminate most of that bushing to make it drop lower, you pretty much need to drop this. You need to drop a lot more suspension components to get the pressure off of those current stock lowering bolts to get in your new ones in order to get it lower. So I'm probably going to pick up the car sometime tomorrow. I just got dropped back home by my Uber, and we're going to take another Uber tomorrow to pick it up. So I'll pick it up tomorrow when we get the car back. You have a good rest of your day.
You too, thank you.
Everything came out great.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it does look good, bro. So that's as low as it can be. It's maxed out.
Really? So even on those bolts, it's still...
Yeah, that is maxed.
Wow.
So worst case is, honestly, it's gonna get lower than it is now because we didn't really test drive it. We just drove it to stop sign back because.
All right, so the car is definitely lower. Only thing that I'm gonna say sucks, but they gotta fix real quick is they forgot to take my bottom wind deflector off. Since I can't unlock it because he has the key. Okay, it's cool. Since the car is so much lower, I don't really think that's gonna be a necessary item anymore on this. Let me see if I can show y'all. A little rubber piece beneath there. Right there. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna take that off. But that's low. They said it's gonna get lower as it continues to settle. We'll see, but I got rid of the wheel gap. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a lot better. And I think I still got a good amount of ground clearance, so it's not the end of the world. I need to get it washed now. Yeah, that's gnarly. It's about 3.5 inches if you ask me. Yeah. If it gets any lower, I might have to come back and get it raised up a bit. But the whole point was just to get these aftermarket Eibach lowering bolts in. So for future raising and lowering, we ain't got too much to worry about. Oh yeah. Sheesh. Alright, I'm catching out of the house when we get this taken care of. Alright, so I realized I never actually wrapped up this video. So this is like the 4th day after install. And I gotta say, it was definitely worth every freaking penny. Best $135 I spent. So that was just for the lowering bolts itself. The actual install is about $450. I think that's still on the low end, considering they had to drop a lot more suspension components than they originally thought. So for about $500, it stepped up the handling like tenfold. It drives like a pissed off Arrow now, and I love it. I think we are literally at the limits of as low as we can go without affecting true performance, if that makes sense. So aesthetically and functionally, I think this is a great line to meet. Like I said, we eliminated the wheel gap, and it still drives very aggressively and very performance oriented. So we're gonna see how it handles tomorrow at this first track event. I don't think this is gonna be my truest track car, if that makes sense. I think it's gonna be something I occasionally put out there. I am going to try shooting for a dedicated vehicle sometime next year or so. We just gotta see how things work out, but this is not gonna be a dedicated track car. This is still gonna be more of a street vehicle for quite some time until, you know, I just see how things work out. But I do want to get my feet wet tomorrow. But like I said, as far as its handling, it's freaking great. Not too scared of rubbing or scraping too much, because like I said, it's still about 3 inches of clearance, so it's still drivable. Like I said, it's freaking great, dude. So if you're on the fence about lowering bolts, I say go and bite the bullet, knock it out. I'm actually more so curious to see what the step up to coilovers will be like from the performance aspect, since those are actually, you know, a full-on strut and spring assembly versus just these bolts. But again, for $135, you can't beat that price. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to DM me, drop a comment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. And please remember, hold that dream.